So how about a Gothic wedding bouquet? Ooh, I swear, emo me from high school is like screaming on the inside. I'm actually super hyped to make this video today because I am doing a black, deep colored, like moody toned Gothic style wedding bouquet for a wedding that I'm doing that is taking place on October 31st, which is in a couple of days for me. So to make any wedding bouquet, what I like to do first is I kind of just like to start with a base of greens so that way all my flowers can sit in it. So I'm gonna start by just getting some of my greens ready. So today I'm gonna be working with some of this Italian ruscus. So this bride actually did not want any eucalyptus in her bouquet. She's not a fan. So I'm like, all right, cool. A little bit of a challenge, but no worries. So we are going to start with that. And I'm just gonna start by crisscrossing my stems. You always want to make sure you are crisscrossing and working on all sides of your bouquet because you don't want one side to look better than the other. So I'm going to start by just crisscrossing my stems there, getting a nice little base going. And I'm going to be taking this Agnes, and this is a cool green because it's actually maroon. And there's not really a lot of maroon greens around, so fancy, but I'm going to take a little bit of this Agnes and stick it through the center. All right. Now she does want a little bit of hydrangea, so I am just going to add like 1 or 2 stems of hydrangea into my arrangement, and that's just going to help break up some of these dark colors a little bit. And I really like using hydrangea in my bouquets because it actually allows you to stick other flowers into the hydrangea, so it's a good base flower. All right, I'm just going to add another hydrangea to the back right here. And as I design, I just like to cut my stems because having really long stems, it's hard to work with. Now I also have this really cool leucadendron, which is going to give me a really nice line flower. And I'm just going to start sticking things up on different heights and levels. This bride did request like a more garden-y style look. So whatever I do to one side, I just like to mirror and do to the other side. Okay. Alright, so this is what we've got so far. And I think I'm going to add in my thistle next, just because it is kind of like a wide flower. So I want to make sure that I am adding this in sooner rather than later. I don't want this to get caught on anything like as I'm arranging, so I'm going to just add it in now. And sometimes I just like to pull off stems, like if they're in my way, I'll just pull them off. Now, if you've seen any of my flower arranging tutorials in the past, I usually prep my stems in advance, meaning that I pull off any bad flowers that are going to get in my way, anything that's going to like disrupt me while I'm arranging. I usually just pull it off and get it out the way before designing. However, I didn't really do that this time because, I don't know, I just didn't. But I am going to start by adding some of my burgundy carnations just right towards the center of my arrangement. And I really like grouping everything in 2s and 3s. I find that that looks most pleasing to the eye. So usually my arrangements, they'll be like flowers grouped together like that. So I'm never placing everything on the same height. If I place one carnation a little deeper, then I'll just place this carnation up just a little higher just to give it some different heights and levels. All about that depth and dimension, so. And if you're ever confused and you don't know what to do, just step away from the bouquet and come back. Now, I do recommend that you have some sort of like trash can or something on the floor while you work, so that way you are not creating a giant mess, because you're gonna have to clean that up later. I don't like cleaning up big messes, so. Now these are called Amnesia roses. I really like these because they're kind of like a dusty purple. I'm just going to begin placing and clustering my Amnesia roses together. Let's see, I'm going to start by placing one of these Amnesias like right in here. I do find that it really helps that I like cut my stems as I go, because it allows me to have a little bit less like craziness as I'm working. Ooh, I have this other leucadendron as well. It's a different variety of it, so there's a little bit more stems per leaf. I think I'm just gonna stick that like right in this empty area. I do have some mini spray roses as well. I've got some burgundy spray roses that I'm gonna maybe start adding in right in this empty spot. I really want there to be flowers at every angle of this bouquet, because you never really know how these brides are going to hold these bouquets. I do try and like tell them like, hey, this is how you hold the bouquet, rather than straight up and down, but sometimes they just don't listen. And I mean, I get it, you're busy, it's your wedding, there's like more important things to worry about, but it would be nice if they held it right, make my pictures look a little bit better. I'm gonna start building up this center here, because I feel like it's just a little bare. There's just not really much happening. So I'm gonna just start adding in some blooms to really build up that area and make it feel a little bit bigger. And I do still have some pieces of ruscus that I'm probably gonna add. So one thing about bouquets, I really don't like when you see bare stems like this. So I usually just like to cover that with a piece of greenery or something like that. And then when I'm also making my bouquets, I like to do more of like an oval shape. So I like to kind of have it come out on side to side, rather than having everything be so tight and clustered. So that is why I do that. So if that's what you're wondering, then now you know why. So now I'm at the point where I'm actually going to take a rubber band and I'm just going to find the hardiest stem. I usually like to use the hydrangea stems because they're really thick. And I am going to tie this bouquet off. So what I do is I take the rubber band and I just put it up one stem. You do a little turn, and then I wrap all the stems together at once. And I enjoy using this rubber band method the most, because it does allow me to actually like maneuver the stems once I'm done, because I'm very indecisive and I don't know. I like to adjust things as I go, and the rubber band allows me to do that. So right now I'm just going to be adjusting things, pulling things up, pushing things down, anything that may have gotten like weirdly maneuvered while I was wrapping the bouquet. I'm just going to push things down and make those adjustments as I go. Okay. Just going to place this piece of greenery right at the edge here to just kind of help build out that side a little bit more. I do still have some of these really nice greens. I'm just going to pull them off. I do have this purple ranunculus that I wanted to use. Probably not going to use all of it, but I just want to put a couple of stems in here. I feel like this will really help just really elevate the bouquet a little bit. And I also like to add like my delicate flowers in last, because I don't want them to get ruined or messed up as I'm designing my bouquet. So little pro tip there, but yeah, so now I'm just kind of looking to see where they want to go. And I also like to place things in the way that they want to be placed. So this flower is naturally leaning towards the left, so I'm going to insert this flower in towards left, because that is where he naturally wants to go. Stick this bloom. Where did it go? Usually, so when I'm inserting my blooms, I'll like stick it through one side and then pull it straight through the other side, and that kind of just like helps the overall just like helps. So now just really wherever my eye stops is where I'm adding a ranunculus. So as I'm adding in my flowers, I'm just grouping things in 2s, 3s. I also like to create my triangles. So if I've got point here, point here, point here, I might add another point down here as well. I am obsessed with how this is turning out. I think I might have to do a Gothic wedding bouquet for my own self when I'm gonna get married one day, maybe, hopefully. I'm totally digging this. I'm digging this so much. This is just the coolest thing ever. To finish it off, just like how we did before, I'm just gonna take the rubber band, find a nice strong stem, just tie around all these stems all at once. Alright, so to finish this bouquet off, I'm just going to take this ivory ribbon to match her dress, and I'm going to work from the bottom of the stems and work my way up, and I'm going to then tie this off with some ribbon, use a little bit of pins, and then that is going to finish this bouquet. So I'm going to just start from the bottom here, and I am going to tie this as tight as I possibly can. The idea here is to hide all of the rubber bands. If I was using floral tape, the goal would be to hide the floral tape. So to finish off this bouquet, you're just going to take the ribbon to the back of the bouquet. So this is the back of the bouquet for me. And you are going to take some of your scissors, a little snip, and then you're just going to fold in the frayed edge here. And then using some pins, you're just going to stick 2 pins going up the bouquet. Now it's important that you use pins going up the bouquet because you don't want to stab the person holding the bouquet. So if you put the pins down, it has the potential to come out through the other side of the bouquet here. And then you could actually end up like stabbing your client's hand all night, and that's just not a fun way to live. So the pins indicate the back of the bouquet, and then this is the front of the bouquet. So the final thing I like to do is just give my ends a final chop so that way they're all even. And I don't like to cut off too much. I do like to leave these stems a little bit longer than I typically would, just because I want there to be some water. Like I'm gonna put this in a vase and I'm gonna have this soak up some water. But yeah guys, so this is my finished bouquet here. I hope you guys loved making this. I'm absolutely obsessed with how this turned out. I think this is so dope. I've never had anyone ask me to make like a Gothic wedding bouquet before, so this is my first time. If you like this video, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Florist Academy here on YouTube. Hope you guys like this video. If you like this channel, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I will see you all soon in my another video. Bye!